Okay, underway here at the Telstra Dome. What a match it promises to be. Harris with the first possession. Wide to Harvey. Involved early, Brent Harvey. Kick is okay. And the mark's taken by Thomas, 60 from goal.
Oh, Lewis has put down Harvey.
And a bit going on between those two. Umpire says play on. Oh, just sneaking down was Lee Brown. And unopposed. No Hawk was within 10 metres and he'll kick from 45, and gee, this would be a dream start for them.
Great for his confidence, Lee Harding. He's been out of favour with the Kangaroos, came back in and played well last week. Great start for him.
Yep, 19 disposals last week. In fact, had 12 handball receives and really looked as though he wanted to be in this Kangaroo outfit. This would give them a dream start from 45. Gee, it's a beautiful kick. The goal umpire doesn't move. First blood to North. And their midfield experienced players, and Brent Harvey looks as though he's going to cop it again today, Luke, but instrumental again. And how Lee Brown could be that free, well, Hawks defence have to have a bit of a look at themselves. Well,
interestingly enough, he's lining up on centre wing, and he's a versatile player, has been out of favour, but to get himself forward, get himself free, there he is on Lewis. Lewis, as we know, is going in and picking up Brent Harvey, and that left that man there on screen free, and he got a great start, kicked the first goal.
Do we mention that Murphy's picked up Jones?
There we go.
Which is a little bit of a surprise.
Huge job for Tom Murphy.
So first blood to the Roos. As we start proceedings again in the middle, McIntosh, comfortable tap, snared by Mitchell. He's immediately wrapped up by Rawlings. Umpire lets it go. Lewis back after suspension. Bateman stripped of the footy. And there's a free kick, and it's going Hawthorn's way, and it is going to be taken by Bateman. And the Hawks peel off everywhere. Go to the fat side. Here's Lewis. Measures the kick. It's a good one, and it finds Young at half forward, just too far out to score. He gets it moving quickly. Franklin's got to beat about 6 of them. He flies. He bowls over the pack. Good hard attack at the footy, but the Roos went out. Wells has run down. It is
free kick. Free kick.
For in the back or holding the ball?
In the back. It'll come back to Daniel Wells.
Okay, so it's coming back as Osborne and Wells have a box on.
50 metres.
And a 50 for you for high.
So the Hawks, well, they're not backward coming forward early.
And Daniel Wells, of course, starred in that semi-final last year. 27, 28 possessions, and another player down.
Yeah, Osborne and Pratt at it, go at it. So there's need about 8 pairs of eyes at the moment, as very comfortably inside 50, taking the uncontested mark, is Nathan Thompson.
Well, I watched him from behind the play, and there's his matchup, which is Gillam. He has going to have his hands full, just pushed off, and there was a double lead from Nathan Thompson. There he was. That's just way too much space this early in the game. 5 or 10 metres. Got to get better than that, Gillam.
So 6 goals in his 2 comeback matches since that knee reconstruction. The former Hawk has kicked the second for the Kangaroos this afternoon. Well, right at the moment, you just have to say the Hawks are spending too much time worrying about the physical stuff and not getting the football.
Yeah, it was obviously a plan to come in and make sure that they put some physical presence on the opposition. Well, that's just...
the Roos that's playing to the Roos' hands.
It is, isn't it? And Nathan Thompson, he won't worry about that. He had plenty of space there. Stephen Gillam has got to stand up. Still missing a key defender, the Hawks. That job there, Stephen Gillam on Nathan Thompson, is a massive one for the game. They're missing Trent Crowe. He would probably be a better matchup. Still one key defender down, the Hawks.
So back in the centre, Taylor against McIntosh. McIntosh gets it out. Simpson dispossessed. Brown tries to crash through. Couldn't. Bateman, well tackled by Thomas. Osborne, brilliantly tackled by Brown. Pole drove him into the dirt. Harris, ineffective handball. Lewis, Hodge, clever over the top to Bateman. Now is a chance for the Hawks. Great kick from Bateman. And he finds Franklin. Right on the edge of his kicking range. Will kick from pretty much the front of the centre square. And that was better from the Hawks.
Bit of a dive there from Daniel Pratt.
Good tackle, that one, wasn't it, by Brown?
So Lance Franklin, 10 goals so far in season 2008 from 55 metres. Thumping kick. Has it got the carry? Yes, indeed. Well done to Lance Franklin. So the Hawks are able to reply very quickly, at least to one of the goals. And this is shaping as a cracking game of footy.
Still think if there's enough supply given to Lance Franklin, as good a job as Josh Gibson did last time round, if you get this bloke enough opportunity, we're going to see plenty of goals.
Pratt over to Swallow. He's run into a couple of Hawks that's holding the ball. Bateman's got the free kick. Advantage paid. Hawks go inside 50. Here's Franklin against Gibson. Well done by Gibson, but Franklin has a shot and misses. Just corralling there, Gibson. Made sure the angle was tight. Here's the double team. No chance there for Franklin.
We might see a bit of that this afternoon. Hamish McIntosh really pushed hard early. He's going to try and help Josh Gibson out and protect him from Buddy Franklin.
Burrito with the job on Roughhead had his measure too in last year's semi-final. Over the top, Power. Oh, not great. Straight to Hodge, and Luke Hodge can start the game here, and he can't. I was going to say start the game in great fashion, but
could have run another 20 minutes.
Well, he could have. He had plenty
Easy
of
up
time.
here, though.
Hits it straight into the post, so another behind to the Hawks.
Well, lucky let off there for the Roos. They lead by 4 points. This is much better from the kick out. Shannon Grant. Wobbly old kick inside 50. It was a good one. It floated to Jones, and he's got the mark. Free kick, whatever you like. And just about in range. He doesn't want to kick it, though. He's going to go short. Unselfish play. And it's marked by Shannon Grant, who's only about 35 metres at worst from goal.
Gee, it's a lethal forward line with the injection of Thompson alongside Edwards and Jones. Then you've got Thomas and Campbell at ground level and Shannon Grant. It's a lethal forward line the Kangaroos have got.
And Nathan Thompson just adds that extra bit of class and strength, and it was a really clever play. Then Anthony Edwards just blocked the footy for Shannon Grant. He's the man that you want. Best kick in their side.
Now already averaging 24 disposals this year in his first 2 games. Already booted the 4 goals, so season's off to a good start.
Just saw
and
Travis. Quarters just saw Travis Tuck come onto the ground for the first time today. He's brought his own cheer squad with a very familiar Hawthorn face here to watch him.
His dad played for Hawthorn, didn't he, Andrew?
Great quick kick from Guerra, finds Lewis. Sneaks along the boundary line and gains a couple of metres at the back. Orioli should have tried to spoil there. Kicked forward though by Hawthorn in any case. And it'll be a free kick.
To be precise, Michael, 426 games and 7 premierships.
Yes, not a bad record, Quarters. So Brady Rawlings looking forward to the matchup with Luke Hodge again this afternoon. He kicks looking for Harvey. Young did enough just to force it over, so a boundary thrown between wing and half forward for the Hawks.
No doubt the instructions as the umpire throws this one back in for Hamish McIntosh are to get back to full back, help out the defence. That's their big worry.
Nice tap, nicely done by the Roos from that stoppage. Power, sweeping handles a beauty to Brown right in the middle of the dome. Kicks long, Thompson, one out. Oh. Well done by Gillam, just got a hand on it at the crucial moment. And there's a free kick here, and it's going Hawthorn's way for a high tackle. Must be taken by Birchall. It's the Roos by 5. Here is Tuck, ran himself into trouble, but he had Guerra in support. Now back to Birchall. Kangaroos dropping numbers back across half back, so the Hawks will have to carry. So Bateman, no one on the mark, so off he goes. Couple of bounces, runs to 70 and shorts to Franklin.
They won't mind that, the Kangaroos, Quarters. They've made Buddy Franklin push out right on the boundary line, about 45 out now. He's probably good enough to kick this goal, but we had a shot before, and Hamish McIntosh is going to own the corridor and force Franklin, if he wants to win the footy, there he is, push him out wide and make him kick goals from here.
So 1 goal, 1 for Franklin. It's a point, so the Roos lead by 4. We've been going 12 minutes in this first quarter.
3 shots at goal in 12 minutes for Lance Franklin, as Pratt brings it in and finds Ferrito. Wearing, of course, number 11 of Glenn Archer. McIntosh, perfectly placed kick over the top of Stokes.
He's working hard, Chriso, pushing back hard and now releasing on the way out. Good work.
Now he's got to play on, trying to direct traffic, decides to kick along the line. Petrie the target, and push, he'll get a free kick. So Drew Petrie just forward of the wing, and the Kangaroos an opportunity to push forward. There's Corey Jones wanting the ball deep. Good kick from Petrie in that direction, chipping in front. Simpson couldn't take the mark. Little kick would have been better advised to handball. Coming out Thompson, good little give. Jones, what can he conjure up here? Jones swings it back and hits the post. So after some early goals, in fact 3, a string of behinds from both teams.
Clever player, Corey Jones. He's just in a tight situation there, able to sum it up. They've given that role to Tom Murphy. I thought Campbell Brown might have been the favoured choice, but they're backing the young fella in.
Tuck has the football. Leading possession getters for the Roos, 4 each to Harris and Harvey. For the Hawks, 7 to Bateman. Guerra, not a lot on offer. Well, the Hawks still have it deep in their defence. Young kicks to Tuck. Good spoil. Good attack on the footy by Pratt. No free kick. Now it pops up into the pockets, and a good mark taken by Jones. He's such a hard man to match up on, and Jones should go back and kick an easy goal.
Well, in the mix-up there, Clinton Young was the man that had to contest against Jones, and he would have enjoyed that. There's his immediate opponent, Murphy, out on the 50.
He's got great body strength, Corey Jones. He uses his body particularly well, and he's fit and he can run, which makes him such a difficult matchup.
7 goals against the Hawks late in the season last year. Then in the finals he missed because of that foot injury. Back to his best last week with 7 goals against the Tigers, 4 of those in the first quarter. Shouldn't miss from here, Corey Jones. And the Roos get their third.
Great start for the Kangas. Man on screen, Corey Jones, coming off a 7-goal performance. And when your man disappears out of half-back and you pick up an opponent here, Clinton Young, who's not used to defending, the strength was always going to go to Corey Jones, and he was good enough just to get rid of him. That's a bit of a worry. McIntosh on the fence with a foot injury.
Yeah, real concerns down here for North Melbourne. Hamish McIntosh, such an instrumental player, has limped off the ground, gone straight to the bench with the physio and the doctor. They're working on the outside of that left ankle at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Thanks, Andy. Yeah, gee, he would be a big loss. David Hale in the ruck as a replacement, up against Campbell. Campbell towards Mitchell. Good tackle coming. Ball spills free. Trying to knock it out. Knocked forward by the Kangaroos. And a push in the back. Jones gets it. Murphy not happy, and there's 50.
50 metres.
Yeah, there you go. Demonstrative actions by Thomas Murphy, and that is a gift goal to the Kangaroos. Players are going to learn at some stage, Luke, you can't do it. You just can't hurl abuse at the umpire.
And I think Alistair Clarkson would be sitting in the coach's box, ripping his hair out, giving the job to this bloke, Tom Murphy, and said, you're playing on a man who kicked 7 goals last week. He's a super player. And when you give away a silly 50-metre penalty and an easy goal, makes life tough.
Oh, he kicked 4 in the first quarter last week. He's kicked 2 now. Kangaroos further in front. Shannon Watt, late inclusion after McMahon pulled out of the side this afternoon. Chance at ground level for Campbell. Good quick hands, but Harris was under pressure. Spills to Harvey. Advantage. Kick towards Thompson. The umpire let it go. And Nathan Thompson moving beautifully up forward there for North Melbourne. And he can kick it a long way. Geez, that's exquisite play, isn't it? Dodging, weaving, and then the poise to steady and find the target, Brent Harvey.
11-6 are the inside 50s in favour of North Melbourne.
So Nathan Thompson to give North a very handy break here from 48 metres. Just offline, so the margin out to an even 3 goals now in favour of North.
So Guerra gets the hurry up, forced to go very short into the back pocket to Ellis. And his kick finds Tuck. Oh, back to Guerra. And that's 50. So Guerra will come up into the middle of the ground.
Keep coming, don't let him
As the Roos once again
That's
push
it there.
plenty of numbers back. There's absolutely nothing on offer. Now he kicks in the direction of Taylor, who's made a good lead. Well done. Big ruckman.
Only problem is there's his man right back in the goal square. So if he pops it up, he'll get it.
Oh, and the lead from Boyle is cut off by Power, and away go the Kangaroos. They're doing it nicely at the moment. Harvey. And a short one finds Thomas. Or is this Campbell? I get them mixed up all the time.
Thomas, you're right, first time.
And he goes short to his skipper. Simpson back to Thomas. We've really got a stalemate at the moment. As Thomas out to the wing, and just lurking in the shadows was Harvey. He chips to half forward. McIntosh pops it over the top to Ferrito. Good centering kick. Good centering kick. Thompson couldn't take the mark. Well sport by Gillam. They're under the pump here, the Hawks. Grant found some space to Harding. Run down by Sewell. Handball was astray. Pouncing was Edwards. Opportunity for Grant. Throws it on the left to the tip of the goal square. Thompson wrestles with Gillam. Doing the crunning was Brown. And the Hawks out of danger.
Clever kick from Brown. Cool and composed back there. Off to Ellis now. He hasn't got too much to go to. Eventually kicks short. It's okay. Mark taken by Birchall at half back for Hawthorn. Sewell lurking across the ground. Now Gillam's continued to run from full back. And plenty of time, plenty of space to try and create something here. Calls for Roughhead to come to him. Great work back there by Swallow. And Rawlings swoops on the loose ball. Pratt put down by Roughhead. Reload free kick. Don't know there was much in that. Thompson. Swallow. Hoists it high. Big challenge here for Thomas. Such spectacular grab. Just hung in the air. And Lindsay Thomas. There was the put down by Roughhead. As we watch this mark again, he just blocked Ellis while he left and just hung there. And here's a wonderful opportunity to put North 24 points in front. Lindsay Thomas from 40 metres. Across the face and not coming back. So a little wasteful just in the last 3 or 4 minutes, North Melbourne.
Signs are great for the Kangaroos. I mean, Swallows contest back there on Roughhead, and then the follow-up on a bigger opponent was just sensational.
And they just can't seem to get it past their half-forward line at the moment. The Hawks. Osborne to Lewis.
Right there, drive. That's it.
One of 3 Hawks suspended in that semi-final last year. Kicks towards Bateman, who's caught behind, forced to spoil. And another stoppage. It'll be Taylor against McIntosh. Good to see him back out on the ground. Wells did it cleverly against Hodge. Now, can he use it? He does. Good kick into the middle. It's marked by Pratt. He'll want to get things moving quickly and get it up forward to Hale. Oh, he's dropped an absolute soda. Should have done better there, Murphy. Harvey, too quick, too clever. Soccer off the ground. He's missed it. Oh, that would have been a cracking goal. He read it beautifully, Brett Harvey. Just rather than pick it up, he went for the soccer. Didn't quite come off.
Mark there dropped by Hale, but the Kangaroos midfielders are absolutely dominant. Sam Mitchell's on the interchange at the moment. He's played 21 minutes, and Adam Simpson has stitched him up. He's only had the 1 disposal.
Gillam back to Murphy. And North Melbourne just, they're manning up, and pressure through the midfield has been intense, and Hawks really struggling. Brown finds Sewell between halfback and wing. He's got a loose player on the wing, Young. He looks to play on. That's the way Hawthorn are going to get around it, but his kick is poor. Oh, Harris dropped the mark he should have taken. Lets Lewis in. Concedes ground back to Young, who chips straight into Harris, who redeems himself superbly. Daniel Harris drives it back towards Hale and Murphy, and Hale in front. That's a very good mark. And after he let one slip through his fingers a few moments ago. Couple of kicks away from goal. 20 points the margin. The advantage to North Melbourne. There's Edwards. He decides to go beyond that towards Harvey. And ball to the back and over. Not quite sure about the wisdom of that boundary throw in deep in North's forward pocket.
Well, they want some icing on the cake here, Luke, because they've dominated the last 15 minutes, the Kangaroos, but they're only 3 goals in front. I say only, it's still a handy lead, but you would suspect they should probably deserve to be 5 goals in front.
Their setups have been so good. All their pre-game planning, everything has worked to perfection.
Harvey didn't get the free kick. Brown, balls, went for goal and missed another one.
They just look so sharp. I mean, Lee Brown selling the dummy and going around, that happens about once a season. As Brent and Harvey just caught one a little bit high, but everything they've worked on, all their planning so far today has been fantastic.
Young, better kick this time, or Lewis just quite sure. Gee, hang on.
That's stupid. That is just sheer stupidity.
I reckon Pratt just worried him out of that mark. Now, we're going to see a report. You can tell here, Lewis just...
Yeah, well, that's just sheer stupidity. He's just been suspended for that.
Got your kick, go.
Well, they've sucked them in, the Kangaroos. They've come with an attitude they're going to play them one-on-one.
Geez, lucky not to be giving away 50 metres there, Jordan Lewis.
Get under their skin. They've been able to get McIntosh back in defence. Simpson on Mitchell's work. Everything going right for the Kangaroos.
Good kick by Pratt in the end under pressure. Lewis charging in power, dangerous. Gee, gave Young a very good look at it. And this game
Lewis
is
been
really
dragged.
firing up here.
Lewis being dragged, Chriso.
And fair enough too. That kick from Sam Power, as we look at Jordan Lewis saying to Pratt, get up. Well, he whacked him in the guts and he has been reported. But the kick from Sam Power.
Has he been reported? I don't think he has.
No, I'm not sure the umpire took his number.
No.
Doesn't look great on the video, though, as we get another bounce. Plenty of spice in this game after that semi-final last year where Hawthorn went in very warm favourites. North finished over the top. Simpson gains 20 metres. Now here's the dynamic Thomas, but he allows Rawlings to take it. Thomas will be on the end of this. Wasn't a great handball from Rawlings, and the numbers with the Hawks. Brown, well done. They gang tackled Guerra. Hodge had to concede ground. Brown, not too many options for Campbell Brown, the All-Australian, but he's got time, so he was able to assess things, and the gaps open up to Murphy, off to Bateman. But everything Hawthorn do is under pressure. Again, Bateman under pressure. Kick towards Petrie, who takes a very good mark between wing and half-back for North.
That's an example of where they've set up so well, Chris. I mean, they're forcing them under pressure to kick the footy long, and all the numbers are back there. Petrie's been back. McIntosh has been back across half-back, working beautifully.
One thing they can't afford, North Melbourne, is to allow Hawthorn to kick a late goal against the flow in the last 40 seconds of this quarter.
Birchall goes back inside defensive 50 to Gillum. Into the middle and Rioli. Little lead on from Stokes. And he goes short to Franklin, but he misses the target. There's Kangaroos deep everywhere, and McIntosh clears comfortably. And they're out of danger again. It was nicely done by Edwards to get it to Simpson. Kicks beautifully to Jones. Couldn't hang on to the mark, but he's got support in Harvey. Harvey kicks out wide. Grant, is there enough time for the Roos? I don't think there will be. Grant onto the left. Not quite. Almost to the diving Shannon Watt, but not quite. And the Kangaroos in the end lead by 21 points.
So second quarter underway. McIntosh down, chance for Lewis. Look out, they come at him hard, 3 of them. Taylor can't get it clear. Wells couldn't get boot to ball. Bateman falling on his teammate Lewis's head, and a push. Oh gee, milked that chance Bateman, but he gets the free kick. Good running from Sewell into open space. Good kick from Bateman. Sewell didn't have to break stride. The kick had too much on it though. Intended target was Boyle at the back. A comfortable mark taken by Ferrito.
First option was Franklin there, and he hesitated. Got to hit the superstar up if he's out.
Ferrito. Little short one to Watt, who was a late inclusion for McMahon this afternoon.
Geez, he started well, McIntosh.
McIntosh has taken the mark over that little ankle problem that he sustained in the first quarter, and Harvey has now got a dozen touches. Shannon Grant provides the lead, and right in the middle of about 4 Hawks, he takes the mark. Wheels onto the left, goes long to the tall timber. Hale and Thompson. Hale is at a mark. No, said the umpire. Play on. Forced to release the football. Jones did well to get the handball away. Here's Thomas. He's stripped of the footy by Birchall. Umpire says play on. Now Sewell. Good little handball to Birchall to Ladson. Hawks out of danger.
Ladson doesn't know where to go. Decides to go long, the safe option, but Watt playing in front of Boyle this time. Takes the uncontested mark. Chips it wide. Simpson in space, intent on playing on. Good stuff from North Melbourne. Finds Thomas. Loose at half forward. Chips it to Harvey. He's all by himself inside attacking 50. Loose player is Shannon Grant. And hard to work out what Hawthorn are doing, but Brent Harvey, who is, and of course, runner-up in last year's Brownlow medal, a superstar, being left all alone on 2 separate occasions in the last minute.
Yeah, that's unforgivable to have that much space for Brent Harvey, and that was a clever kick under pressure. It looked a bit easier from up here, but to execute that was just super skill.
So Shannon Grant kicked 4 goals last week in the demolition job on the Tigers. Should kick this, and does. So they started the second quarter the way they started the first, and the margin now out to 27 points.
And again, we mentioned earlier about the talent of the Kangaroos forward line. If you're having a look at Brent Harvey here, that's a clever kick under pressure. But Corey Jones, Shannon Grant, Brent Harvey resting up there, Nathan Thompson, they are hard matchups for any defence.
You look a bit stunned, Chriso.
Well, I'm expecting you telling me all before the game started, Quarters, how good this Hawthorn outfit is.
I've never said anything of the sort.
And I'm just a bit bewildered about the way they're going at the moment. North Melbourne have been awesome.
They have. As we start in the middle, Taylor got the tap. Brown didn't really hit a target there. Bateman overran it. Brown has another crack at it, but it went straight to Ladson, to Sewell, to Mitchell for his only second touch in the match. It's a good handball to it, breaks it open. Bateman to Lewis. Lewis now gives it over to Osborne, who runs into goal and drills it. That's much better from the Hawks. That ended a 31-minute drought, and that was their best passage of play by a million miles this afternoon.
And as you call, Quarters, it was great hands by this man on screen, Sam Mitchell. Just pierced the Kangaroo midfield. Open running football, and Osborne in the end was able to kick a fairly easy goal. They need their key midfielders getting hold of the footy, and Sam Mitchell did that then.
Michael Osborne with Hawthorn's second goal, their first since the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. So McIntosh to do battle against Simon Taylor. Bounce is pretty good. Harris shovels it forward. Guerra comes up to meet it. Well played. Well, Sewell was taken high a couple of times. No free kick. A bit unlucky there. Guerra tries to force it free. Now a chance for Wells. McIntosh sweeps the handball to Harvey. Here he is again. Thompson leads. He's got a loose play. Shannon Grant again. He can waltz in from 15 metres. Handball over the top is to Hale. And Hale kicks the quick reply. Just had my heart in my mouth just for a moment as Shannon Grant handballed over the top there to David Hale. But it's okay. And Brent Harvey is
May
really...
I ask a question, Luke? Who's on Brent Harvey?
Yeah.
No one. He has had 14 disposals, and I can't believe that he hasn't had closer attention. I loved Hamish McIntosh's work again. Now, I know I love the big man, but his handball set up that play. Well done.
11 marks to 2 in this quarter. Taken off hands brilliantly by Hodge. Over to Sewell. And he misses. Would have expected to nail that, Brad Sewell, but not to be. So Ferrito to bring it back in, margin 26 points. Pratt around Hodge. Plenty of time, not too much on. So he elects to handball to Power. Wasn't a great handball to Brown, but he was able to pick it up off his bootlaces. Finds Shannon Grant. They've got it to the wing, North Melbourne. Towards half forward. Thompson out on a big lead. At the back, Guerra. Chance to mop up here. We've got Ladson in support. And Hawthorn players fan, so he's got a couple of options as he comes out of defence. One of them, Saul. Good chase from Thomas, but Saul coolly got the kick away to Osborne. Over the top. Okay, Birchall, who normally uses the ball very, very well. Roughhead works his way to the front. Couldn't control it, though. Wells. Brown did very well. 3-on-1 here for North Melbourne. Harding off to Simpson, and he chips. Oh, gee, that wasn't a great kick. And the mark's taken by Birchall. Didn't give Harvey a chance.
Taylor. Saul, who's had 7 touches for the quarter, just manages to get that one away to Young. He's on his incorrect side, so forced to go by hand, but it's a good handball to Lewis, who pumps it along. Franklin wrestles with Gibson. Franklin, who's being held, got to be a free kick. You saw the jumper being tugged.
No, you're both in it, and then you clearly held his yanked on his jumper.
Well, Gibson doesn't like it, but...
Well, it was a clear instruction from the umpire. He held onto the jumper as we have a look at the replay.
There it is.
Yep, can't do that. This has got to be what the Hawks want. One-on-one chances with this man, Buddy Franklin, and you know he's going to get the footy.
It's a tight angle, but he should be able to nail it, and he does. So 2 to Franklin.
See Josh Gibson there just arguing the point. Doesn't normally get you too far, quarters. In fact, probably actually works in the reverse, but sometimes you just can't help yourself. He had a piece of the jumper, and when he watches the replay on Monday at training, he'll realise that was the case.
Gee, the shot just there, giving away a lot of height, isn't he? Lance Franklin a couple, and Josh Gibson not happy with the umpiring decision, but it was certainly there. Big job for Gibson, giving away plenty of height, playing on the young gun, Hawthorn forward. Taylor up high, beaten by McIntosh. Good little quick hands to swallow off to Wells. Here they go again. Power around Ladson, hoists it high, in from the side. Edwards at the back. Hale almost couldn't take it. Edwards first to recover. Left foot snap is a goal, and North Melbourne have got the answers at the moment. Margin back out to 26.
What about the piece of ruck work from McIntosh?
I'm his biggest fan, Quarters. He's a massive, massive man who can run, and his centre bounce stuff is as good as anyone. Geez, I admire the Kangaroos. They'll kick it to a contest, prepared to let their big men bring it to the ground, and then this man was the beneficiary on this occasion.
Hawthorn can't make any headway at the moment. Every time they kick a goal, North Melbourne responds straight away. Edwards first for the Suns.
Sorry, Quarters. There's Brent Harvey on screen. He's had 4 opponents: Ladson, Saul, Birchall, and now Jordan Lewis for 14 disposals. Good luck to Jordan Lewis. His opponents have only had 6.
Bateman throws it onto the boot. Hodge against Petrie. Petrie is fisted away. Hodge goes at it again. Mitchell back to Hodge. Great smother, Petrie. They're doing everything at the moment, the North Melbourne team. It's a free kick. It's going Hawthorn's way. Another great smother from Drew Petrie.
Geez, they're tough and hard, the Kangaroos. I mean, they've given away a free kick, but they just have a crack.
So Luke Hodge, too far out to score.
Gee, the man on the board's under the pump there. He copped an absolute pasting.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't get paid anything to do that.
You don't want to sit next to the coach in the coach's box. Copped a lashing there.
So Luke Hodge, gee, you'd have to give it everything but about 60 metres, I'd say, to get this home. It's an enormous ask, but there's not a lot on offer, so he's going to go for home. Fades away into the pocket. Boyle, well, that's not going anywhere. And we'll have a bounce.
Easy up, guys. Watch his head. No, watch his head. Go for it. Good tackle.
So deep in Hawthorn's attacking territory. Suspect the Roos might concede the behind here. No, they keep it alive. McIntosh just got the handball on the way in the nick of time. Gibson did head over it. Good hard stuff from Gibson. Simpson couldn't control it. Well, it's tough and tight in there at the moment, and we'll have another bounce. 45 out from Hawthorn's goal.
Kept his head over the ball well, Josh Gibson.
Yeah.
And that's just what the Kangaroos do. No one takes their eye off it. They tackle hard. Got to respect and admire them. They turn up every week and play this way.
Campbell and McIntosh to do battle. reaching over Roughhead. Oh, Wells swooped on the loose ball. Couldn't get it away, though. Good little soccer, though, by Simpson. Little fumble by Edwards allowed Hawthorn in. Travis Tuck dives on the footy. Edwards fights on for North Melbourne. And umpire calls for it. Umpire head. Bounce 70 metres from Hawthorn's goal. McIntosh with the opportunity gains 25 metres to Edwards. Handball was a stray to Harvey, backing up Wells. Little fake and shake around Stokes to Harvey to Wells. McIntosh has to jam it on the boot only as far as Saul. Now it opens up here a bit for Hawthorn. He drives it long. Franklin the target. The back couldn't take it. Ferrito best to recover at ground level. Rioli swoops on it. Well tackled though. Bateman feeds it back to Mitchell. Back to Saul. Finds the target. No, Ladson dropped the mark he should have taken. And taken by Pratt. Off to Harding, who's got plenty of toe. They're away here, the Kangaroos. Swallow uses it. Good fisto from Gillum on Hale. And now they turn it over. Saul back to Gillum.
Gee, Saul's had some sort of quarter for the Hawks as Gillum goes to half forward and finds Ladson. He's up to 13 disposals. Saul to Roughhead, who's been conspicuous by his absence. His second touch. Little short one in the pocket to Franklin. Gibson does well to spoil, and the Kangaroos out of danger here momentarily. Harding to Power, and chips it to the open territory on the wing. The chase is on. Grant against Young. So the Roos by 26.
Just breaking down up forward almost on every entry. The Hawks, they can't get clear possession inside the corridor. Need to start using the ball a little bit more directly.
Campbell works to the front. Well done by Hale. A second effort there. Ladson, good tackle by Hale. Now Swallow scooped that up and brought it in. He'll be in trouble here. Deliberate, okay. So Hawthorn free kick in any case. It'll be taken by Bateman. Back and across. He's okay. Murphy just. Brown is free across the ground. And the chance here to build another Hawthorn attack with Ellis loose at half-back. He uses him. Mitchell working hard to get to a usable position. He goes beyond Mitchell. Petrie got to the front of Birchall, but Birchall did brilliantly against a couple to slap it back to Mitchell. And back to Stokes, who's got it at half-back. So Hawthorn looking to build. Switch the play again. Bateman. Intent on playing on. Campbell corrals him, forces him to kick long to the contest. Hodge out in front of Patney, marks 50 from goal. Back inside towards, I think the target initially was Ladson. Kick wasn't great. And intercepted by Brent Harvey, who has had some sort of match, coming in for his 16th disposal.
And it's a good kick to the wing too. Magnificent delivery from Brent Harvey. And it's marked by Thompson, who's a long, long way from home. Pops one over the top to Campbell, and he's off. The speedster has two bounces. Takes on Brown. Brown did reasonably well. And the Hawks get it back somehow, but the handball's missed the target. Swallow sidesteps, kicks, looking for Grant. He's also had a great afternoon so far. This is a difficult angle, and he's put it out of bounds on the full.
11 disposals for Shannon Grant. Harvey with
severe
game high
case
16.
of liver poisoning.
So the Hawks run it out. Ellis off to Lewis. No pressure on him at the moment, but he gets to defensive 50, and this is where the problem begins. Tries to measure the kick to Birchall, but it wasn't quite to Birchall's liking, allowing Harding to come across and fist it over.
Just didn't have any options further down the field. There's not a lot of run from the Hawthorn forwards. Aren't creating enough space, and the defence from the Kangaroos has been outstanding.
Nice roving by Swallow to Rawlings. Pinched off him by Lewis. Sewell, he's had an outstanding quarter. Well done by Sewell to Lewis. He's at 11 for the quarter, Sewell. Handballs to Osborne. Here's a chance for Buddy Franklin. 50 out. He bangs it on the left. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's a beauty.
How good is that man on screen, Quarters? It was a sensational call. Hasn't been much excitement at all for the Hawks, and then you get the ball in his hand, and there aren't too many players in the competition where you say he's tucked on the boundary, 55 out, just where he likes it. Magnificent left foot kick, and look at that, just incredible skill Hawks need him to win the footy a bit more, and it will keep going through the big sticks if he does.
Just noticed a subdued celebration there from what we're used to from Buddy Franklin. You haven't had a word to him, have you, Quarters?
No, certainly not. I'm all for colour and movement on the football field, Michael.
So the Hawks get one back to 20 points. Margin was 21 at quarter time. Campbell up against Hale. Campbell follows up Mitchell. Handball was too fierce for Lewis. Well done by Stokes. Sockers off to Rioli. Rioli out wide. Boyle couldn't quite get there. Took it well on the half volley. Wheels onto the right boot. Great rundown though by Watt. Boyle somehow ended up with it. Concedes ground back towards Ellis. Now Mitchell. They can build again here. Hawthorn wide. Osborne, who's been dangerous, runs to 45. Pumps it long and drills it. So second goal to Michael Osborne, 2 in a minute to the Hawks, and all of a sudden the margin back to 14 points, and they're back in the ball game.
Been 2 of their forwards, Chris, that have got themselves back into it. It was great attack from Tim Boyle on the footy. We saw the goal from Buddy Franklin before. Just a few signs that a bit of momentum coming back the way of the Hawks.
All of a sudden, the margin 14 points. Some headaches for the magnetic board man. As Dean Laley works away. Gee, this game can change quickly in the modern times.
Great hit out.
Another clearance for the Hawks. Lewis wobbles one to half forward. Here's Cyril Rioli on the left boot into the pocket. Oh, that's a great grab taken by Hodge.
Just Hawthorn's 4th mark in the last 15 minutes.
Been their forwards who have got themselves back on track. This is Cyril Rioli. He's electric and skillful. Hodge is going to have this shot at goal, but it was Buddy Franklin who kicked the one from 50. Tim Boyle attacked the goal before that set it up for Osborne. Bit of talent down there, and this man's got heaps of that.
Luke Hodge. They started at left, and that's where it stayed. So 2 behinds to Luke Hodge, and North Melbourne leads by 13.
So Daniel Pratt at fullback for the Kangaroos. Harvey loose. No one within 30 metres of Brent Harvey, so Harney can take his time just to chip it over the top. Another loose player, Harris. Just marked it a centimetre off the turf. Daniel Harris very coolly.
Time for some tempo footy from the Kangaroos, Luke.
Yeah, they might want to just arrest a bit of momentum because the Hawks have just kicked the last 2 goals.
Ball to the back, Simpson. Now a free kick plucked out of here.
Downfield here. Was in the marking contest. Late.
So it'll come back to Adam Simpson. And time now for Hawthorn to get numbers back behind the ball and clog things up a little.
Play on.
Simpson decides just to bang it long, hope for the best. And at the back, almost a mark to Taylor under the pump. Petrie fighting hard at ground level. Umpire let it go momentarily, but eventually calls for it. So a bounce in the forward pocket.
It's one thing the Kangaroos are prepared to do than other sides more often is kick to a contest down the line, and it works well for them.
Big pack of players around the ball here. They'll need a bit of magic if they're to conjure up a goal here. Campbell almost got through. Sewell's been outstanding in the second quarter. Mitchell, blind handball straight to Jones, who handballs it over. Now what's the umpire do here? Says throw it in.
Reynolds right out.
So a boundary throw in the forward pocket for North Melbourne.
But hold them.
McIntosh against Taylor. Taylor got first hand onto it. There's just so many players around the ball at the moment, just can't get anywhere. It's a lonely sight down the other end. There is not one player in one half of the ground.
Brent, let him run.
One
Brent,
lonely field umpire, and that's it.
Brent Guerrera.
It's like old 1970s footy.
Hold their power. Rick.
Like under 12s quarters.
Taylor the tap to Ladson. And another stalemate.
Hey, Brent. Yeah,
Harvey 17 disposals for the Roos, Grant 11 and Wells 10 for the Hawks, 15 to Sewell, 14 to Bateman and a dozen to Lewis. Sewell again, good hands to Lewis, to Osborne. Oh, interesting bounce, got away with it. Gillum, to Brown, and they'll have to concede here, the Hawks. And he plays on straight away. Kicks well to Ellis.
And halfback Xavier Ellis got players running for him. One of them, Simon Taylor, gets the call from Birchall. Was to his outside. He elects to go inside. Clever play. Ladson wants his left side. Then kicks wide. Rough head the target, and he's got it.
Just a better build-up from the Hawks. They were able to kick the ball in quickly, play on, and went back in towards the corridor. Looks so much more dangerous. There's a handball back in board. Prepared to score more when they go back into the corridor, and good grab from Roughead.
Jared Roughead has scored 3 goals in 7 career games against North Melbourne, so hasn't been able to get amongst it. His first real opportunity this afternoon. Can he match the efforts of Franklin? He can. Great kick. So the last 3 goals in the match to Hawthorn. In fact, they've kicked 4 of the last 5, and the margin is back to just 8 points.
Just doesn't seem right that they're only 8 points down. The Kangaroos have dominated 80% of this match, and in a short space of time, it's been the key forwards from the Hawks that have got them back into it.
Kick to the wing. Edwards. We'll have a throw in. So good fight back by the Hawks in the second term. There's still plenty of time left too in the second quarter. Well over 3 minutes of match time. Sewell for number 14 for the quarter. Ellis, Brown, he'll give it to Bateman. It was touched off the boot, but no time for panic here because he's got plenty of players loose wide. One of them is Gillum. This will have to be a good kick, and it's not. Just didn't have enough weight on the kick, and Jones picks it off on centre wing. Goes backwards to Pratt.
Right there, Luke, out, go out.
So vital couple of minutes coming up.
Pratt. Kick effective, mark taken by Rawlings, and North Melbourne just looking to keep possession and consolidate the small lead they had. Led by 27 early in the quarter. In fact, they led by 27 points on a couple of occasions. Petrie. Now just 8. And they've lost all the run and all the flow in their game. Pratt. And he's got limited options here. Not too much movement ahead of him. Decides to kick towards the lead of Harvey, who takes another mark and will come in for his 18th disposal. Hawthorn have got numbers back, so forced to kick high and long along the line. Roughead up in front, couldn't take the mark. Sewell at the fall. Lewis, Gillum, Murphy kicks back and across dangerously. Here's a challenge for Ellis. Got an accommodating bounce, so he's okay. And delivers towards Tuck, who marks inside defensive 50.
Kicks to Franklin, who had his legs taken from him. Umpire said that's okay. Gibson to Grant. Guerra, good strength. Well done by Guerra. Saved the day for the Hawks. Ellis in 2 minds. Now dishes off the handball to Murphy. He switches. And the mark's taken by Brown. There's a loose man on here for the Hawks. There's time. Lewis, who's had a much, much better second term. Needed to. And kicks to Bateman. Back to Tuck. Well, it's a game of checkers at the moment, just crisscrossing the ground. Birchall, oh, here's a chance for Roughead. He can mark and go on. He runs to 50, and Roughead kicks the goal. It's a 2-point ball game.
Well, Jared Roughead kicked the goal, and now coming off the ground. It's been the talent of the Hawthorn forward line that has really worried the Kangaroo defence. That was a great effort there by Brent Guerra. But Luke Hodge, they've played him exclusively forward this quarter. Franklin's got into the game. Roughead's got into the game. Rioli's got into the game. And they're good players, all those guys.
Jared Roughhead, 2 goals in the last 6 minutes, has put the Hawks just a couple of points in arrears. Great comeback this. 7-7 plays 7-5. Half a minute left in the half. Campbell keeps the hands clear, gets it to Rioli. Little kick was okay. Tuck off to Birchall. Don't tell me Hawthorn are going to hit the front here. He hoists it up, looking for a mark from Hodge. Couldn't take it. Brown shrugged the tackle off to Petrie, in all sorts of trouble. Dubious looking handball. He got it away though, and Harvey retreats. Where will he go? Towards Swallow. Wells couldn't take it. Birchall could. Good handball to Sewell, but he's tackled by Swallow and Thomas, going nowhere. And we'll get a bounce.
Just looking at Brent Harvey there, under enormous pressure. Looked like they were going to get a goal scored against him. Just his clean hands. It's what makes him such a good player. In tight, he's tired and worked hard, but so clean with his hands.
So the Hawks have cut a 27-point deficit back to 2 at the main break. Oh, it's going to be a good second half. Rivalry round 3. 3 goals to that man, Lance Franklin. And at half-time, it's North Melbourne 7-7, Hawthorn 7-5.
What a sensational half of football that's been. There's Josh Gibson, who's played on Franklin. It was the Hawthorn midfielders who got him back into the contest, but then the talent up forward, Franklin, Roughhead, and also Hodge. Great stuff, great game coming up.
It'll be McIntosh against Taylor in the ruck. McIntosh comfortably. Campbell fed it out to Wells. Now Power squeezes the kick out to Harris. He's chased down comfortably by Sewell, who had an unbelievable second quarter. Brad Sewell, who's one of the main reasons Hawthorn got back in the contest.
Been a fierce contest. Tackling's been strong from both sides.
McIntosh again, the tap. Taylor into the back of Simpson. Umpire let that go. Harvey, 19 disposals for North Melbourne, leads the way for the Hawks, 18 to Sewell. Lewis also had an excellent second quarter, up to 16. Simpson threw it on the boot, marked by Ladson. Quickly off to Guerra, who got hemmed in by Harvey. Back to Ladson, now Bateman to Birchall. Back to Ladson, so the Hawks split it open a little bit to Young, who pumps it long. Roughhead the sit, over the top for Rito, the big fist, into the pocket. Petrie has put it out of bounds on the full.
It wasn't under an enormous amount of pressure. You've got to do better than that.
Yeah, it was in a situation where he probably felt perceived pressure, and in the end it was a poor kick.
So Ladson with it. Pratt stands the mark. He tries to thread it to Franklin. Hard up against the line. He's pushed over by Harris. Boundary throw-in.
Just got that attitude, hasn't he?
The strut.
I like it.
So McIntosh had to beat Osborne there, and Osborne gave away the free kick. Pretty predictable, with no one getting involved in the contest. So he handballs off to Harris, short to Pratt. Just deep into the second quarter, North lost all their run from behind, and very stop-start football, much like the last 30 seconds. To Harvey now. Harvey, short. McIntosh, good strong grab. They've got it to the wing, but this style of football is not going to win them the game. High to half forward at the back. Thompson couldn't quite get a good run at it. Now Jones trying to shepherd to allow Wells to get a run at it. Couldn't. And Lewis mops up to Ladson. Birchall. And they'll switch the play here. Young is 50 metres in the clear, Clinton Young. So can have a bounce. Ignores Sewell. Goes beyond that to Rioli. He doesn't have to break stride. Cuts inboard. Loose player inside the centre square. Osborne loops the handball to Bateman, who runs to 40. Handball off. This is good stuff. Hodge, little sidestep and bang, goal. Hawthorn are in front. And look, you see the contrast in styles from both sides, and Hawthorn just hard running.
That's their picture-perfect game plan for the Hawks there. Change direction from the back line. run the footy out the other side of the ground, play back on in the corridor. They didn't do that in the first quarter. That's exactly how they want to play, and it was magnificent footy to watch, and the class act in the end by Luke Hodge.
For the first time in the match, Hawthorn is in front. Luke Hodge kicks his first. Hawthorn by 4. They trailed by 27 at one stage in the second term. McIntosh once again against Taylor. Oh, good tap to Lewis. Guerra. Oh, turned over. Harvey. Oh, the runners everywhere here. Chips to Grant. Good handball. Campbell. And there is the quick reply. The Roos are back in front. Well done, North Melbourne.
Well done, Matt Campbell. He absolutely deserved that goal. Have a look at the chase he puts on here. There he is, 33. Runs and puts the pressure on. Harvey follows up, and then young Campbell, he'll come into the screen again. That's great run from a young player. Prepared to tackle and chase, and then got the reward in the end. Sensational stuff.
Matt Campbell kicks a goal for North Melbourne and breaks a run of 5 unanswered Hawthorn goals. And North Melbourne back in front by a couple of points, the margin that it was at half-time. So McIntosh to do battle again with Simon Taylor. Perfect bounce. Knocked down to Lewis, was taken high against Harris. I reckon he's dislocated his finger, Daniel Harris. He's coming off. Didn't slip back into place, so kick goes out to Sewell. Sewell drives it long. Target down there. Hodge spills to Boyle, who's been very quiet. Off to Ladson. Off a step. Tries to pull it around his body. It's offline. And fisted through by Pratt. So behind to the Hawks.
It was Shannon Watt there that had to sit with the fist. And we have a look at Harris popping his finger out on Jordan Lewis's head. But in the end, Watt's fist was back into the corridor, and as a defender, he'd love to have hit that towards the boundary. Nearly cost him a goal.
Lee Harding's got it in the back pocket. Little short one to Harris. He's recovered quickly. We'll be off with work care for a week, didn't we, after a dislocated finger? He got about a 5-second break. Free kick, and it's going against Lewis. A good little win there for the Roos.
Wasn't a great option from Harris, kicking 20 metres to a contest.
And it's going to be taken by Simpson.
You called it earlier, Chris, though, didn't you? This is now the stop-start, down-the-line play. He's got to kick this one to a contest. Doesn't look as free-flowing.
McIntosh just well discreetly nudged Taylor under the ball. Did it beautifully.
Great grab.
What a talent he is. 23 years of age. Just really starting to blossom as a ruckman into his 46th game of AFL footy. Inside 50. Another little discreet nudge there by Edwards. Oh, it's a dodgy old handball. Mitchell was grabbed, but he didn't have it. Umpire said play on. And a bad mistake by the Hawks. It's a Kangaroos goal to Rawlings.
Well, they just keep coming, the Kangaroos. Here's Hamish McIntosh. Nothing wrong with that. Used his body beautifully, the big man. And kick down the line to a contest. And they just battle, they contest. Nothing pretty about this except a bit of pressure. There's Brady Rawlings. And well done, deserved the goal. Great pressure skills.
Brady Rawlings a goal for North Melbourne. And that looks like the hand of Daniel Harris getting strapped, the dislocation. So the Kangaroos 7 points in front. McIntosh instrumental in the last goal. Beaten by Taylor this time. In from the wing is Thomas, Pratt, Simpson. Off to Gibson, who ran from half-back. Good pressure coming from Young. Affected the kick. And Edwards perhaps would have been better served going for the football. Looking to shepherd for his teammate. Boundary thrown between wing and half-forward for North Melbourne. Further attention to Daniel Harris. Lewis at the base of the pack. Well tackled by Power. And another bounce.
Just keep coming, the Kangaroos, don't they? Momentum was with the Hawks, and they find a way.
You wouldn't expect anything else, would you, from the Roos?
Absolutely.
Oh, gee, that was good.
Rioli to Franklin. Coughed it up. Simpson. Harding. Wells. Sweeping handball to Pratt. What's he going to do with it? Little underground handball to Jones. Hot on his hammer is Guerra. Forces the spillage. Edwards concedes some ground back to Wells. Now kicks hurriedly and high. And Luke Hodge has given away a silly free kick. And the Kangaroos will have a shot at goal.
Clearly kicked it, man, into the ground line.
Another undisciplined act.
Yeah, well, they have been a touch undisciplined, haven't they? I mean, Jordan Lewis gave away a free kick just before half-time that may be looked at later, and just unnecessary. Always a free kick.
That was always a free kick downfield.
Well, Alistair Clarkson has stated that he wants his players to go right to the edge. And sometimes you just fall over quarters. The edge, that is.
Yes, I gather that's what you meant. Corey Jones has kicked a couple, both in the first quarter. And the Kangaroos have steadied the ship.
They hurt cheap, undisciplined goals when it was going to be a 50-50 contest. In fact, the Hawks had more numbers down here in the end. And you get a free kick downfield. A player like Corey Jones.
It was just stupid again. It was just a silly thing to do. You weren't going to get anything out of it.
No need to do it.
Yeah, and Frito with the ball between halfback and fullback. Good kick, finds Watt. So North Melbourne have responded to this Hawthorn challenge in the last 4 or 5 minutes, have regained control, not only on the scoreboard but in the midfield. Watt towards Hale, who did a bit of pushing and shoving there to the back. Thomas and Campbell. Now this is exciting. Campbell to Thomas. Vacant goal square. Where will he go? Thompson getting back. It's through. Sensational stuff. Lindsay Thomas. I tell you what, reminds you of the old days when Phil and Jim Cracker arrived at Arden Street. The combination there of Campbell and Thomas. Great finish.
Just that instinct, isn't there, between the Indigenous boys? They share the footy around, and that ability to score a goal, there was nothing easy about that. It was under pressure from 50 and steered it through magnificently.
Massive momentum swing here at the Dome. Kangaroos now out by 19 points after conceding the lead early in this third term. Hale the tap. That's a free kick. The Kangaroos for a hole. It's going to go to Swallow.
It's almost like, Luke, they waited for Hawthorn to catch up and then they thought, oh, we better put the foot down again.
And that's the Kangaroos, isn't it, Chris? They just don't give in, persist. Try hard. Is in trouble there, though.
Well, he threw that away, but the umpire let it go. Ferrito gets bowled over by Franklin. Almost tunnel ball at the moment. Umpire will have to bounce.
Just got an ability. There's Franklin on the ground. He'll get up and be fine, but they seem to have this ability to raise their intensity, the Kangaroos, around the contest. Force another ball up. Put more pressure on the opposition.
Campbell the tap did it nicely to Stokes. He's all wrapped up by Gibson. Ellis was caught high. Umpire let that one go too. Hawks fans not happy. Inside 50 go the Roos. Thompson overran it. Good use of the body by Brown. Gillam. Oh, a bit slow. Very slow. Just released in the nick of time. Umpire's about to blow the whistle. Edwards fighting hard. It's a mad scramble. Desperate stuff from the Hawks, and it's a free kick going Hawthorn's way for what? For 50. What for? I don't know. But
Arguing. Not sure whether it was Shannon Grant or Lindsay Thomas that was the culprit. They both looked like they had a bit of a word. I thought Gillam unlucky there not to get a high.
How did he dispose of it? I thought Nathan Thompson was stiff there.
Inside 50 go the Hawks. It's their turn to try and get a steady up. They're under the pump at the moment. Clever by Stokes. Very clever by Stokes. Just didn't blaze away. Looked for a teammate. And Jarryd Roughead will line up for goal number 3. He might have hurt himself here. Doesn't look good for young Cameron Stokes. And that was the free kick, was it? Yep. So Roughead. The Hawks need this one. Just regain some momentum, and he sprayed it badly. A bad miss from Jared Ruffhead. And that's not a good sign for the Hawks as Cameron Stokes limps off. North Melbourne lead by 3 straight kicks.
And here's the injury to Stokes.
Got crunched, didn't he, after he got rid of it?
Stay there, Darren, stay there.
So Petrie this time with the kicking duties, finds Ferrito in the back pocket. There's the attention to Stokes. We'll get to Andy Marr in just a moment. Towards Hale and a boundary thrown. Andy.
Yeah, they're looking at the knee, Chris. So that appeared to be the part of the leg that took most of the brunt of that contact, and they're working on that right knee at the moment. So that's it there, where he sort of falls across the knee on the way down.
Okay, so Grant from the boundary throwing. Campbell diving in.
Dangerous.
So did Tuck. Handball, little toe poke from Swallow. Well done, Campbell. Found the footy at ground level, but a bounce. Well, that's a good sign. Up and walking around the boundary line, Cameron Stokes. And Hamish McIntosh ready to re-enter the fray. Bounce favours Osborne, who slaps it 30 metres his side's direction. Lewis waits for Tuck. Look out, Petrie tried to fend off, and that was a bit high, but umpire said it was okay. So throw it in, he says. Boundary thrown between wing and half forward for Hawthorn. Pratt wins it to McIntosh. High to half forward. In from the side. Good mark. Taken by Murphy.
Murphy gets it moving quickly to Ellis. Over to Gillum. And in the end he gives it to Ladson. Hodge provides the lead. He gathers on centre wing. Play on, says the umpire. So Hodge has got to go. Didn't hear the call. Now he kicks into the pocket to Franklin. Won't get there in time. Well done by Watt.
Managed to do that a lot today, haven't they? Make sure that Franklin's under pressure, normally against 2 opponents. And again, Shannon Watt got back here, as you can see on screen. Good courage.
Campbell fed it out to Hodge, who centres the kick, but it's Drew Petrie. Ruffhead arrives late. Difficult one dropped by Petrie. Good tackle by Rioli. Petrie did well, really well. Pratt, Harding, Swallow. Couple of loose men on, but he kicked it into the man on the mark. Now Ruffhead with strength, broke 3 tackles to Franklin, too far out to score. Handball wasn't great. Sewell's there. He's all wrapped up by Pratt and by Harris. Good footy, a bounce, 45 out from Hawthorn's goal. There's Stokes getting some treatment.
Well done by Tuck, just running the Swallow kick down. And what about this from Ruffhead? Breaking a couple of tackles, but North are able to tie it up. Bounce at centre half forward for Hawthorn. McIntosh, Swallow. Oh, gee, I thought it was taken high by Hodge. No free kick. Chance for Pratt.
I think you might have been right, Michael.
He hits hard, Luke Hodge, in the contest. He's a strong body, loves body contact. Thought this was fair and square.
Yeah, he ran into his bicep, really, didn't he?
He enjoys that, Hodge. Does it well.
So, umpire throws it up. Campbell knocks it forward. Simpson. Oh, gee. What's the umpire going to do here? Decides to just take the safe option and bounce it up again.
You get the feeling the holding the ball rules changed this week?
Yes.
I reckon they might have been paid week 1. Seems to have eased up a little bit.
Let Luke run, Michael.
So a bounce.
Burrito.
Centre half forward for Hawthorn. Campbell slaps it forward. Pratt. Ferrito. Back to Watt, who can regroup. Although he goes back to Thomas. Thomas hasn't got too much on here. Oh, gee, that's a
ambitious handball, wasn't
certainly
it?
Was. Back to Thomas, though, and only as far as Osborne. So they got it out of their defensive 50, but only just for a moment. Drilled the kick towards Rioli. He slips 1, slips 2, twisting and turning, and finds short. That was brilliant stuff. Cyril Rioli.
Just a bit of magic, that, wasn't it? I mean, he had so many numbers around him. And have a look at the skill here. Able to invent something. A couple of blind turns and another one. And a brilliant pass. Probably just made the distance.
So Brad Sewell hasn't opened his goal-scoring account for season 2008 from just inside 50. Big kick. It's a straight kick. Goal to Hawthorn. margin is back to 12 points. And beautifully worked here by Cyril Rioli.
Junior boy, they call him down at Hawthorn, and the nephew of Morris, and you just have got that little bit of magic, and he just adds so much to this Hawthorn side. He runs and chases, but that touch of class, so good to watch. Set up the goal.
Brad Sewell, Hawthorn's best and fairest winner last year, only had 3 touches in the first quarter, but since then he's had 17. And it's 12 points of difference in favour of North Melbourne.
Sorry, Quarters, the good news for Stokes, it looks like it's low in the quad, not the knee. They've given him a thorough examination, and it looks like it's not the knee, which is a good result.
Here's Sewell again. And that's a free kick for holding the man, says the umpire. It's got to go to Young. He wastes no time. Hawks on their bike. Tuck. Ladson peeling off as Lewis. He goes to Lewis just inside 50 and takes a good mark. Lewis short. Franklin. There's not much Gibson could do about that lead.
The speed he has off the mark, he started behind Gibson then, and the lead was about 6 metres. Started a metre behind and finished a metre in front. Electric.
A difficult kick here for Lance Franklin. He's got 3 goals too this afternoon. What's ticking over in his mind? Here goes the drop punt. It's across the face and it's a point. So it's the Kangas by 11. 3-3 is Lance Franklin's haul so far this afternoon.
Inside 50s, 10-5 in favour of the Hawks in this quarter. So North Melbourne have done superbly well to convert the way they have. As Brent Harvey comes from the ground, Campbell back on. Frito in the back pocket with the footy. He's got power short on the boundary line there, right of screen. Decides to kick long. Target. Oh, Campbell outmarks Simon Taylor. See, that won't be one for the highlight reels.
Not for Simon Taylor.
No. Towards half-court. Edwards did well to work his way to the front. And he marks 2 kicks from goal. There's Thompson. Decides to kick short. Wells. Daniel Wells today coming in for his 14th disposal. Very good last week. Had 24 touches. Spots a target in Brown at centre-half forward. Taylor did well this time. Got across. And Hawthorn are able to bring it out of defence. Sewell, Bateman. Wide to Roughhead, who's got involved in the game after a disappointing first quarter. Now, whistle here.
It's going to be a reverse for Franklin for holding.
Franklin's dismayed. He doesn't quite understand what's going on.
Yeah, Franklin held Gibson off the ball, so it was reversed.
Petrie. Edwards couldn't climb over the top of his teammate. Tuck keeps the ball in front. Good little paddle to Brown. To Ladson. They're queuing up at centre-half back. Oh, that wasn't the best kick. Found Campbell. Brilliantly done. Handball to himself. Does that count? Kicks it deep into the pocket. Going back. His teammate is Thomas. Couldn't find him this time. And Taylor wrapped up. Look out. Did he have prior opportunity?
Yep.
Not sure about that. Gee, wasn't a big prior opportunity, but it's a North Melbourne free kick deep in the pocket. There's the mark, spoilt brilliantly by Ladson. Yeah, look, he tried to take him on, didn't he? Quite correct, Quarters. So Nathan Thompson decides to play on. Can he pull it back? He can, but he pulls it back on the near side, offline. Margin back out to 12 points.
You might be right, Michael. This one's definitely going to go for an old cliche down to the wire, isn't it? The Hawks bring it back in. Osborne to Lewis. And Lewis has now got the match high. This is his 23rd disposal. Long to Taylor.
Smart kick that was, just to a contest, but Taylor always had to sit in a one-on-one situation there.
There's Gibson on Franklin. That's a kick, a very ambitious kick to Osborne, and it'll just trickle over the line for throw-in. So the state of play, it's under 5 minutes of match time left in the third term. It's North Melbourne 2 goals in front of Hawthorn. Kangas led by 27 points in the second quarter. Hawthorn took the lead early in this third term. The Kangaroos back in control. Well, not in control, but back in front. Harris. Great clearance to McIntosh, to Simpson, to Rawlings. He's doing his usual solid job for the Roos. Free kick, it's a hole, and it's going against the Roos, against Campbell. The Hawks get the footy back.
Ladson on centre wing. Short. Ellis. Little handball over the top to Franklin. Brushes Gibson aside as though he wasn't even there. Around Harris. Around Gibson for a second time. Kick straight to McIntosh. Gee, what a build-up that was. So McIntosh, right spot, the right time. Oh, that's a dangerous kick out towards his captain. Support from Frito. Couldn't get round Osborne. Ladson comes in, knocks it to Bateman. Jones, good tackle, although he was able to get the handball, was Bateman to Ladson. Poor kick, straight to Harris. Pressure immense as Harris drives it long. Out comes Thompson. Someone, Hawthorn player down. Simon Taylor at the back. Birchall at centre half back. Off to Ellis.
That Hawthorn player is out.
That's Tom Murphy.
It was great courage.
Wasn't it just? Now Sewell, he runs through centre wing. Kicks it long. Target is Hodge. Well done by Watt. Hodge off the ground. In, missing to the near side.
It was great courage by Murphy, going back with the flight of the ball. He's paid a very heavy price.
Have a look at it here. Nathan Thompson attacking the footy.
Oh,
Knee right in the head.
That hurts.
Yeah, he's a goner for the day.
Well, in the end, he probably just hesitated that little bit, as courageous as it was. Probably just hesitated and hurt himself.
Oh. So the kick comes to Hale, and it's a good strong mark by David Hale on centre wing for North Melbourne. Margin 11 points. Beautifully poised this game. High. Thompson again, this time marked strongly.
Well, they're going to take Murphy through the interchange, and the runner's gone out and says, no, just take him off the ground at the nearest point.
They've been a man down for a long time here.
This is where they've got to call the stretcher, make a quick assessment and call the stretcher. Brown pumps it to the goal square. Oh, in from the side. A spectacular mark taken by Bateman. Call the stretcher, stop the play, regroup.
So plenty happening at the Dome. There's the marks taken by Tuck. There's Murphy in the background. He just got no idea where he is. He's got absolutely no idea. He is not in a good way. Well, they have the best of medical support at AFL clubs, so he's in good hands. But right now, sure he doesn't know where he is.
Got a lengthy walk.
Bad kick, chopped off. Pratt, Jones, here's the Roos on the rebound. Shannon Grant's on. Beautiful kick. Superb kick. Grant runs on and kicks the goal. Kangas by 17.
Beautiful kick it was, Claude.
The Hawks just looked a little bit disorganised, didn't they, given that player going off.
Yeah, maybe didn't get back and cover Tom Murphy, but we saw Shannon Grant just steaming back towards goal, and this is just a pinpoint beautiful pass. Great play for a forward when you can run back towards your own goal. It's so dangerous, nothing Campbell Brown could do. And that's such an important goal, just on the verge of three-quarter time. There's a man that went off Tom Murphy. He's not in a good way. Very important goal that was.
So a significant moment in the game just before three-quarter time. Hale against Campbell. Kangas win the clearance. Simpson to Rawlings. And ball's taken by Edwards. Stabs towards Jones. Solid mark though, taken by Ellis. Into the corridor, marked by Campbell. Out wide to Lewis. Gillum kicks in the direction of Young. That's a great mark. Lee Harding Terrific mark under pressure.
Well, he looks to be running reasonably comfortably, Murphy, but he won't take any further part in this game. Power back to Harding. As we tick down to three-quarter time, margin 17 points. North led by 21 at quarter time, by just 2 at half time. Hawthorn kicked the first goal of the third quarter to lead by 4. But North Melbourne have been able to regain control on the scoreboard.
Corey Jones.
And Jones with the free kick just between wing and half forward.
You're doing, Rob.
Just a hard-working player, Corey Jones. He ran about 50 metres to that contest. Gets himself in the play all the time.
Well, ordinary looking kick. Searching for his captain, Simpson. Mitchell was held. No free kick. Boyle. Off to Ellis. Lewis. Now Gillum. And they get out of trouble, Hawthorn. Hodge to Birchall. Sweeping handball to Roughhead, but they'll run out of time. Three-quarter time here at the Dome. This has been a wonderful game of footy, and Roughhead and Pratt getting involved after the siren. Right below us here, right in front of Andy Marr. You there, Andy?
Andy's throwing haymakers.
He's in there. He wants to get involved.
Chris, when I see big blokes like that doing that, I stay well and truly clear, I can assure you.
Three-quarter time at the Dome, and it's North Melbourne by 17 points.
Hawthorn need the first goal. You suspected they're going to win this contest. It's the Kangas by 17 points. Simpson puts it inside 50. Gillen does the spoiling. Edwards. This will be a handy first up goal into the goal square. And I think it's Campbell who does the spoiling in the end. It was. Robert Campbell for the Hawks. And Guerra gets up very gingerly. It's the Kangas by 18.
Campbell's gone into defence. He's going to pick up Hale.
In fact, it was a throw-in, my apologies. So it's still the Kangas by 17. And it's a free kick going Hawthorn's way. And it's going to be taken by Lewis.
Lewis across his defensive goal square to find Birchall. And off to Ladson. Not too much to go to, Rick Ladson. So forced to chip to Osborne dangerously. Brown destroys the footy. Sewell's handball chopped off by Hale. He got a second go of it. Well done, Hale, a second time. Jones is desperate. Off to Harris. Now Edwards. Wheels back and concedes ground back to Power. Power kick towards full forward. And Jones a chance here, but Guerra in the way. And what's going to happen here?
Legged.
And a free kick will come back to Brent Guerra.
I think Alistair Clarkson, as we have a look at Brent Guerra copying one in the face, Alistair Clarkson copying one and a second one, if you don't mind. They've got to attack more through the corridor, the Hawks, and take a risk. Here's Birchall now.
Birchall over to Osborne. Goes inboard to Sewell. He's got Franklin on long, and he kicks in that direction. Boyle's there too. Franklin flies high, can't take the mark. And numbers at the ball are all with the Kangaroos, and Petrie clears comfortably, and a good kick too, as he finds Edwards. Boyle's down hurt too. Hawks are running out of men.
They didn't score then, Quarters, but it's a better build-up. They attack back through the corridor. Long, strong ball. They'll kick goals if they keep doing that.
To half forward. Hale. High ball into the pocket. It's out on the full.
And at three-quarter time, interesting that Hawthorn $2.75 to win the game. North $1.40 according to TAB Sportsbet. So the bookies, well, they've written the Hawks off at three-quarter time. Or is that the punters?
He looks sore, Tim Boyle, coming off.
And Tim Boyle does not enjoy playing at the Telstra Dome. He's only kicked 4 goals in 6 games here at the Dome before today. It's not a happy hunting ground, and he's been carried off, and it looks like his day's over too.
Play on, yours.
Guerra. He's got a couple of heavy knocks also to Ladson.
That's a better kick back through the corridor. Play on now.
He doesn't have a lot of runners though supporting him. Guerra's, he's hardly can raise a canter, so Taylor's going to have to kick long.
It's too slow.
Looks very sore, Brent Guerra. He kicks it in the Franklin direction. Lewis is in there. Gibson. Over to Brown. And they got all the answers at the moment, the Roos. Simpson back to Brown. Caught in two minds, eventually released to Petrie. Now Rawlings, who goes straight down the guts. Campbell dropped the mark. Here's danger for the Hawks. Gillam's in there. Ladson's got the leg speed. And he handballs to Brown, who goes up the middle also. There's three Hawks there. Hodge out wide to Roughhead.
And Roughhead marks on centre wing. Plenty of space. He's got an option short. He uses it. Taylor.
Franklin's one-on-one. This is the footy now. You've got to get in quick. Give him a chance.
Well, he finally realises Simon Taylor and kicks it high in the Franklin direction. And a free kick. It's the rules the way they stand at the moment just make it so difficult for an undersized defender to spoil, and the free kick given away.
Hence why the Hawks have got to get the footy in there quick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get in front either Lamarcus or get a free kick.
Yep.
And even then, Taylor just took 5 extra seconds and nearly gave the Kangaroo defenders time to get back and make it 2-on-1. Give the superstar a chance.
3 goals 3 this afternoon for Lance Franklin. So just 25 metres from goal, but angle about 60 degrees, as you can see. But he is in the right forward pocket. Will suit his left, but he drills it. And the Hawks back to it in 11. He's kicked 4.
Just makes sense, doesn't it, when you've got one of the most talented players in the game and he's there in a one-on-one competition. He's got...
Gee, he didn't do much wrong, Gibson, did he? In all fairness to him.
Fairly stiff, but that man there, you want him to have as many chances as you can. I'd be kicking it to him as quickly and as fast and direct as I could.
Now Hodge to Guerra. To Franklin. Good hands. And he's within range.
Well, in the end, it's worked out fine. And the hands from Franklin were superb. But you called it quarters. We could look at the slow play. He was down there on his own. Have a look at this lead. Just glides across the ground. And those hands are just absolutely superb.
So this is a bigger ask for Lance Franklin, but still well within his range. He's kicked 4. Kangaroos by 11. Dean Laidley watches on. Josh Gibson on the mark. What can Buddy do? He's going to miss, and he might miss everything here. It's just sneaked home for 1 point. 10-point ball game. Kangaroos lead. Plenty of time left in the final quarter. 4-4 to Franklin.
Saw Buddy in that final against the Crows in this similar situation. He kicked 7 that day and won the game, and he looms as the player capable of doing it again today.
Pratt kicks into Ferrito. Franklin stands the mark. Harding is loose at half back, and eventually Frito sees him and goes to him. Great to see Lee Harding back. Knee reconstruction in 06. Played the second half of last year in the VFL, but back in this Kangaroo outfit in 2008. Big lead from Hale, and hands in the back. So North Melbourne free kick against Taylor. It'll be taken by Hale. Taylor doesn't stop to argue. Wants to get back and get the numbers back. Short to Simpson. Back to Hale. Oh, gee, I don't know about that. Oh, Hale,
Missed the tackle.
if you don't mind. And then dribbles it towards Harvey, who overruns it. And they botched that up, North Melbourne. Brown back to Guerra. And they can reload here, although not much on, so he's forced to go back to Brown. He picks out Roughhead just backward of the wing.
Roughhead short to Osborne. And he kicks it along the boundary line, looking for Bateman. Well done by Petrie. Size one out there, and he sees it over the line. 39,816 here today. Terrific crowd for a Saturday afternoon. So 40,000 watching a very tight contest. Mitchell, good hands to Sewell to Roughhead. Ordinary handball. Turnover. There's been a lot of turnovers for the Hawks today. The Kangaroos' pressure's been outstanding. Attacking it is Campbell. The big fella did well. He eventually gets the kind bounce, and he bangs it on the boot, but it's all Kangaroos deep in defence. Franklin somehow got the ball. Great tackle. Magnificent tackle from Josh Gibson just when Buddy looked like he was going to throw it on the left. And that is a goal-saving tackle if ever I've seen one. He was away, wasn't he?
Oh, it's going to be a goal. Great tackle. Having a laugh there, buddy.
So Pratt in the back pocket. 10 points the margin. It's been a game played with great intensity. Gibson. Target. Brent Harvey. The target was Petrie, but Brent Harvey in from the side. The spectacular mark. And he's got it between halfback and wing for North Melbourne. That's what's ahead of him. Edwards wants it long. He decides to go short on that towards Hale. Taylor, the effective spoil, down to Ladson. Numbers at the 4 with Hawthorn. Young. Corralled by Jones. Ellis looking for an out. Finds it in tuck. Swallow applies the tackle. Back to Taylor. Petrie wraps him up. Going nowhere. Good tackle. Umpire says...
Oh, that's a... Gee whiz.
I was watching the umpire. He was going to cross himself. Then all of a sudden he changed his mind at the last second. Long to the top of the goal square. Franklin, the fist from the North Melbourne defence through for a behind. So margin back to 9 points.
Gee, that was a tough call. That's a great mark too by Harvey. Well, you can feel the tension of the ground. You can really feel it. North Melbourne hanging on. They lead by 9. We're not even at the halfway mark of the last quarter, so heaps and heaps of time left.
And
Who's got the legs?
Hawthorn's coming with 2 blokes on the bench and 2 blokes on the ground injured at the moment. This is a mighty fight back by them.
And remember, they were sore coming into the game. They had a big trip over in the west.
All up.
So the odds are stacked in the Kangaroos' favour. There's Tom Murphy. Got KO'd by Nathan Thompson, accidentally, I might add.
It's an interesting stat on screen. Mark's play on Hawthorn 49% of the time from a mark play on. And that's what they need to keep doing.
Bateman into the pocket. Franklin. Now, is it out of bounds? I reckon it is. He took it on the second bite. He went over the line.
I hadn't played it.
Yep.
No.
Good call from the umpires. So we've got a throw in. Oh, gee, that's a free kick to Hawthorn. Roughhead's in range, and he will have a shot and line up for his third. He missed an easy one in the third quarter, Roughhead, but he's well within range. And if he kicks this, it's 3 points the difference. Oh, gee, that was Osborne on Swallow. So Roughhead. Goal.
Important goal, Jared Roughhead, and nothing more frustrating than a ruck free kick. And well, in the end, it was just unnecessary. It was a push in the back, had to be a free kick, and that's a soft goal to the Hawks. Margin back to 3 points.
Mitchell just pumps it deep. Chance here at the back for Osborne. Well done, Watt showed great strength. Loops the handball to Petrie, who almost threw it out. Chance for Pratt. Hard up against the line at half-back. Kicks towards Jones. Now a chance here for Harvey. Blistering speed. Needs a shepherd from Simpson and got it. Brent Harvey, can he find a target? Thompson couldn't hold on. At the back, chance for Shannon Grant. Around one. Couldn't get around Campbell, though. And he's been pinged. He did all the hard work, Shannon Grant. Got around the first tackler. Absolutely. Wasn't aware that big Robbie Campbell was stalking him from behind.
He executed that tackle really well, didn't he? I mean, it could have been lazy and ridden him into the ground, but it was a smart bit of play. He's gone into defence, Campbell. Might even be picking up Nathan Thompson, which is a big move.
Kicks in the Taylor direction. He's outnumbered here. Jones lost his feet, though. Harris. Clever little handball. McIntosh. Can the big fella bend down and pick it up? He can, but his handball's intercepted by Tuck. It's out on the full. It came off Tuck's boot. It's a free kick. A fortuitous one, but I'm sure the Kangaroos are happy to accept it. So Harris has got it. Past the halfway mark of the final quarter. Round 3, the rivalry round. And this game has lived up to expectation.
Jeez, he's got strong hands for a little man, hasn't he?
Nathan Thompson looking to lead. Harvey. 25th disposal. Sells the dummy to Ladson. Runs to half forward. Kicks it to the hot spot. Edwards up high. Couldn't take it. Brown roves the pack and kicks a goal. pushing on, but Lee Brown. And that was the infringement against Travis Tuck out on the full. And Brent Harvey taking Ladson on. Great kick to the hot spot.
How good's that from Harvey? I mean, he's got the ability to run around a bloke at this stage of the game. He took a great contested mark. Good contest in the goal square. It's a simple game plan, but it works.
North Melbourne by 9. Second goal for the afternoon to Lee Brown, who was out of sorts, out of favour late last season. He's back in the team, played a good game last week, and he's made a significant contribution this afternoon. Brown again, backed himself to Campbell, to Harris. Hot on his heels is Rioli. Oh, Harvey's everywhere. Disposal number 26 back to Harding. Kicks in the Brown direction. He'll get there. Good tackle by Ladson, and we'll have a throw in. Bit of respite for everyone here at Telstra Dome.
And down the other end, there's Josh Gibson and Buddy Franklin. Look at the space. Message has gone out. Give him as much room as you possibly can. That's the Hawks' best chance.
McIntosh in front. Chance for Hodge. Good little handball by Hodge through the congestion to Tuck. Now Bateman.
Franklin one-on-one.
Here we go. Deep. Kick goes towards Osborne, and what? Osborne nearly, but he keeps his feet. Michael Osborne from 30 metres, lines them up and drills it. Osborne has 3, and Hawthorn get the quick reply and shows the value of being able to keep your feet in the marking contest.
Well, it was a good forward set-up, Chris. They ended up clearing the space out. It was for Buddy in the end. But everyone drifted back towards Franklin, as you do, and that left Osborne in a one-on-one situation. He was good enough to kick the goal.
Hawks won't lie down, but it's still North Melbourne in front by 3. 17.5 minutes ticked over in the final term.
Massive centre clearance coming up.
It'll be McIntosh versus Taylor. McIntosh comfortably hacked off the ground by Simpson. Brown wrestles at half forward with Campbell. Fall of the ball is Shannon Grant. Great tackle by Sewell. He releases Grant. Taylor on hands and knees fed it out. Only as far as Rawlings. Threw it on the boot. Here's a one-on-one contest. Almost the impossible mark taken by Harvey. He's over the footy. Umpire lets it go. He's still over the footy. Umpire's there. What's he going to do? He's going to bounce. 50 out from the Kangas goal.
There's Sam Mitchell. He's only had 13 disposals. His opponent, Adam Simpson, has been fantastic. He's the best stoppage player going around just about. So here's Simpson. They need Mitchell to win a couple of clearances to win this game.
Rawlings is looking after Hodge. It's Roughhead in the ruck. Poor bounce from the umpire. Spills to Lewis. Little give to Tuck. Now to Ellis. Players peel off. One of them is Osborne. He's kicked 3. Franklin's the leads on in the pocket. Can Franklin get there? Well played, Gibson.
Interchanges in this final term. 16 to North Melbourne, 9 to Hawthorn. Of course, the Hawks restricted with Thomas Murphy not being able to come back onto the ground. Roughhead down to Sewell. Handball beyond Tuck to Ellis. Kick smothered. Well done, Simpson. Spills though to Rioli. Rioli with blistering speed. Oh, don't tell me he kicks across the face and offline. I thought for a moment, a brief moment, he had drilled it. Wasn't to be. Margin 2 points.
How good was that change of pace? He just put the up. Look at this.
The afterburners.
Oh, no need to go a bit quicker here. That is lightning.
Couldn't finish off his good work, and the Kangaroos still in front. North Melbourne by 2. McIntosh is being told to go. Pops it up. Edwards is going to make some ground. He can't, and the mark's taken by Ellis. He goes into the corridor. There's Hawks everywhere. Sewell. Mitchell. A long lead by Franklin, who was being held. Umpire was there. Let it go. Franklin on the second bite. Kept his feet. But he breaks the tackle. Sells the dummy. He's in trouble now. Forced a handball to Taylor. Hawks still got possession. Lewis into the hot spot. Hodges there. He can't get the footy. Cyril Rioli pounces. Overruns it. Kangaroos numbers deep. Will they concede the point? No, they won't. Harding's caught high. Oh, some more spike for the Roos right on the line.
Hasn't the the game just gone up another level. Not much time left on the clock, and the intensity has just gone through the roof.
Kick comes out to McIntosh from Harding. And not much movement from North Melbourne at the moment. So McIntosh forced to kick long, very close to the line, and I think it's over on the full. It is. So Hawthorn free kick.
Put his hands up in the air, and then McIntosh said there was nothing for me to kick to.
And he was right. So Brown with the free kick. Hawthorn, just despite the fact they're restricted on the interchange bench, continuing to surge. Ellis got it from Brown. Now he goes way back to centre half back, but Gillum can play on and perhaps set something up here. Kicks wide towards Lewis and Harvey. Harvey did enough. Keeps his feet. Brent Harvey, been one of the best on the ground. Short to Jones. Now this is a chance here for North Melbourne. He's got hard running from Shannon Grant, but getting across Campbell. Sensational stuff that. And Campbell relieves the pressure. Short kick to Osborne.
It is a nail-biter. 5 to go. North Melbourne in the rivalry round. Lead their arch rivals from the 70s, the Hawks, by 2. Roughhead short to Birchall. Birchall along the lines to the great lead from Bateman. Bateman will get it going quickly. The lead's on from Franklin. Buddy Franklin can't take the mark. Beautifully done. I think it was Corey Jones. No, it was Simpson. Now he's tackled by Rioli. He lost the ball. Umpire let it go. Taylor, Sewell, Rioli, Franklin, Franklin, Franklin! Hawks in front. Buddy's got 5.
Sensational stuff. And it was Simon Taylor who went in, put his head over the footy, and won a really hard one-on-one footy. And the man who you expect to do it, he just keeps doing it at the right time. He is a superstar.
5 to Franklin. Hawthorn in front by 4.
It was a great contested footy won by Simon Taylor, who put his head over the ball. Rioli across to Franklin, and when you need the man, he just stands up every time. He's kicked 5.
So now, what can the Kangaroos muster here? Thompson in the ruck, Travis Tuck. Well, it took a long time to get rid of it and then didn't dispose of it correctly. Thomas got to come back. So, just for the second time in the match, Hawthorn find themselves in front. Wells with the free kick across the ground to Harding. Into the final 5 minutes of game time. Harding, probing kick towards Jones at the back, but in front. Campbell Brown with a very good vertical leap has marked. He kicks across the ground to Sewell. Dean Laidley. Well, his side has led for much of the day. Birchall, and now Young. Hawthorn in control for the moment. We've seen it change a few times during the course of the afternoon, though. Lewis.
Saying, Mike, there's still a long way to go before. You shouldn't really be icing the clock right now. There's still a fair bit of game time left.
Kicks wide towards Taylor. He's got to beat Wells, and Wells did well enough just to prevent him from marking. Boundary throw in half forward for Hawthorn.
What's the mindset in the modern game now for Hawthorn now they're in front? Is it too early to ice?
I think they need to keep scoring again. It's a 1-goal margin, and there's the quarter, the length of the quarter, so there's plenty of time to score.
Harris, good hands to Simpson, who bangs it up high to the wing. Edwards is outnumbered, got the front posse, had it fisted away. Tuck, did he have it? No, umpire said play on. Now Jones lays the tackle. Tuck did it cleverly in the end, just managed to get over the line for a throw-in. So throw-in slightly in Hawthorn's attacking half. Hawthorn lead by 4. 40,000 here today at the Dome. Gillum with his head over the footy. And has got the free kick.
They just become so important, the stoppages this time of the game.
So Gillum His kick finds Ladson, and the Hawks are in no hurry. But we still should have about 4 or 5 minutes left. So Ladson's told to go. He kicks into the pocket. Franklin's there, so is Roughhead. In fact, it's Hodge. Hodge from the side. He's kicked to Roughhead. He's got the best position, and he's taken the mark in the goal square, or just outside. And if he kicks this goal, you think the Hawks are home.
Such a clever kick that was from Luke Hodge. He sums the game up. He's got such a natural feel for the contest. Worked out that Roughhead was in the best spot. The kick was just perfect.
Hawthorn in front by 10. Roughhead's got 4.
Still enough time for the Kangas. They've got to win this centre clearance. And it looks as though Nathan Thompson's coming in to take the centre square bounce, so they need to win this one. I love this kick from Hodge. It was just so clever. He summed it up so well. Kangaroos have led for most of the day, and now they've gone to Nathan Thompson in the centre square to win them a clearance, get themselves back into this contest. Here he is.
Marks for the quarter, 29-14, Hawthorn's way. Darren Buick in the foreground, Dean Laidley at the back. 10 points now, the advantage to Hawthorn. Kangaroos need a centre clearance. Thompson versus Taylor. Thompson gets it down. Little fumble from Rawlings. Taylor feeds it back to Mitchell. Back to Sewell. And now to Hodge. They're controlling things at the moment. Wide to Ladson, who marks on centre wing. He's got a loose player forward to the play. It's Tuck. And Travis Tuck marks between wing and half forward. There's Franklin and Gibson. Tuck. Off to Sewell. Sewell drives it long towards the Franklin direction at the back. Chance mark taken by Lewis, but there's a free kick. No, it's play on. It's a goal to Hawthorn.
Not quite sure what happened there,
Lewis took the mark, and Lewis only stopped because he thought he might have been penalised for hands in the back. He wasn't, so he went on and kicked the goal. He took the mark. He thought he might have been penalised for hands in the back. He thought
that's because he pushed out his opponent Ferrito. No wonder he thought he was going to be penalised.
Is that the most anticlimactic sealer you've ever seen kicked?
That was weird.
He's not a great poker player, Jordan Lewis, is he? Because he's given himself up. He just said, look, I pushed him. Umpire said, play on.
Well, Jim makes it tough now for North Melbourne.
Hawks by 16. It's a free kick to Brady Rawlings for a hole.
Here, Brady Rawlings, straight back. Here's the mark.
So Rawlings, right in the middle of the dome. We'll just have to kick it long and hope for the best. Edwards sets himself. At the 4, the ball is young for the Hawks. Out wide, and the diving mark's taken by Rioli.
Wait for it.
Hawks have kicked 6 goals to 1 in the last quarter. They work it to the 50. Mitchell, who's had a very quiet day by his lofty standards.
Full credit to that man there on screen, Adam Simpson. He's been able to take Sam Mitchell out of the contest.
15 touches. His average this year is 31 as Bateman comes off for the Hawks. And Birchall comes back on.
Just indicating to the bench, Chance Bateman, that he's got a bit of a groin problem there. Hopefully it's just a cramp. As you can see there, he's working on it himself, rather agriculturally.
50 out from the Hawks' goal. This is Power. He's all wrapped up by Sewell. Umpire will bounce. Well, it's a win of great character, Luke. Couple of men down, coming back from Perth. Under the pump at 3/4 time, down by 17. It's another promising sign, isn't it?
It's a great effort. I thought the Kangaroos have been outstanding, thrown everything at them, and this side has responded.
That is a tremendous victory from the Hawks.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.